Приветствую всех любителей интересного геймплея. Очередную часть прохождения диска Elysium. Так, давайте вспоминать, чем мы занимались. Отправьте тело жертвы. А, вот, тело жертвы на экспертизу. Поехали глянем, что там с телом жертвы. Закупился я, да, этим боевым духом. Мне нужны деньги. Так, ну все нормально. Пакет и это. А, кстати, ну-ка.
You see a set of tire tracks in the brown slush that cut.
Визуальный анализ ему нужен. Так, ну у меня тут дофига. Я хотел вообще логику бахнуть. Потому что у меня минус идет из-за мыслей. Визуальный анализ, кстати, тоже минус идет из-за мыслей. Преступление. Заставьте законы физики работать на вас. Интеллект основы +4, бонус предметов, социально-экономический мазовизм -1. Почему? Бонус от предметов +1, экономический мазовизм. А, здесь только эти. Бонусы от мысли показывают. Электрохимия, болевой порог, трепет, эмпатия, авторитет минус. И логика у меня тоже минус от мыслей. А так, в принципе, все хорошо. Так, еще где там задание наша? Карта. Холодильник в виде восприятия. Легендарно. Я думаю, все-таки ломануть сейчас этого трупешника. Может, черный проводок ломануть?
Two cables are plugged into something close to you. Dies with a soft electric purr.
Why did you do that?
Что этот кабель у меня... У моих поступков нет причин. Потому что этот кабель черный, цвета безмерного космоса. Но он же черный, это совсем не то же самое, что красный.
The lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say anything. The electric distribution board now has one cable missing.
Окей, я не знаю, зачем я это сделал, у моих поступков реально нет причин.
The bear's eyes are still glowing red. It's guarding over the freezing core.
Закрываем. Так. Сохраняемся. Что там надо было-то, блин?
The bear's eyes are still glowing red.
Восприятие. Где он у нас тут? Коронное мое восприятие. Применить.
The bear's eyes are still glowing red.
Шансы
It's
низкие.
guarding
Поехали.
over the freezing corpse hidden inside. You touch the dead man's body. His skin is cold, light blue and silver.
It'll come to you sooner or later. At least he's...
The bear's eyes are still glowing red. Your arm reaches out and your eyes close, as if by their own volition. It's dark all around. You feel cold, dead flesh through the latex glove. It's right under the palm of your hand.
Так, ну, наконец, с нескольких попыток я завершил проверку этого восприятия. Что это?
His face, his cheeks, his nose, his fat, swollen lips. Like a rubber spider, your gloved hand crawls on his features. Everything is silent, all around.
Мне кажется, все-таки в рот.
The oral cavity is cold and moist. A ball-like tongue attaches itself to the base of the mouth, lolling around like a scallop.
Открыть глаза и посмотреть. Коснуться чего-то еще.
The tongue moves freely in the cavity. The mucus of the mouth is slippery, fragile, even through the latex. From the soft meat, teeth are budding. Hard pearls of bone in the gums and in the back of the mouth. Can you feel it? You're so close. Rip his jaws open now. Look in. A vision of black and dark red death, pried open by your hands and studded with teeth. Looks like he's laughing. Death fumes rising from his throat. And there, in the back of his mouth, above the bell of the uvula, right in the soft palate. You see a hole, barely visible to the human eye. It is swollen shut, almost vanished. No larger than 0.4 centimeters in radius, the edges appear darkened. An abrasion collar. This is what we're after.
Поясок осаднения. Вот так, блять. Коснуться его пальцем, продолжить.
Abrasion collar.
A black trickle of liquid runs into his throat from the wound. Your index fits right in there. A tight tunnel of flesh opens up. Tissue damage. Wide enough for 2 fingers. As you push both in, you reach through his mouth, right into his brainstem.
Нифига себе, мозгового ствола.
The basal ganglia feels clumpy. What entered here has torn apart his reptilian complex.
Рептильный мозг. Рептильный мозг?
This man will never sleep again, never wake. The funk soul brother at the back of his head has gone dark forever. Your yellow fingers slide into the remains of the limbic system. There is no resistance. It's gelatinous. The slug-like structures are damaged too. The tearing extends deep into both hemispheres. The lieutenant answers with the sound of his pen on paper.
Здесь полость, ровно между полушариями. Куда я там руку засунул?
Your fingers are all the way in now, reaching toward the inside of his skull. The cavity goes further, but the entry wound isn't wide enough for the rest of your hand to follow.
Чтобы в него могла пройти вся твоя рука. Чего? Ну, входное отверстие слишком узкое.
All the muscles in your body harden. Time to enter him.
Пробить всю дыру у него во рту. Вкрутить руку. Чё вообще? Может, я не туда лезу? Может, надо было еще что-то поискать? Пробить дыру у него во рту. Чё вообще делаю? Крутить руку.
Your fingers reach toward his skull. His cerebral cortex feels like jelly. Cold jelly. Strange fluid streams down your wrist as you push deeper until you feel it. Ice cold serrated metal. Its edges cut right through the latex and into your finger.
О! Холодный как лед и зазубренный предмет. Его металлические края пропарывают латекс и режут тебе пальцы. Офигеть!
The pain is barely noticeable under the adrenaline rush.
За приливом адреналина ты почти не чувствуешь боли. Прям под черепной крышкой я нащупал твердый предмет. Сначала осмотреть череп. Техника, высокие шансы. Выудить его. Довольно просто. Надо 6 выкинуть. Прямо черепной коробкой я нащупал твердый предмет.
Can you get to it?
Сначала смотреть
There's a
череп.
tiny crack, a protrusion in the cranium, right in the back of his head. Your finger must be pointing straight at it from the inside.
В черепной крышке есть крохотная трещинка, выпуклость. Прямо на затылке. Похоже, что твой палец направлен прямо на нее изнутри.
The object that is in there stops just short of the skull, in the encephalus, knocking this tiny fracture into the cranium.
Предмет, который ты нашел, остановился у самого черепа. В коре, оставив эту крохотную трещину в костяной крышке. Чего не понял?
We have the makings of a very small exit wound here.
Наклоняется ближе лейтенант. Техника. Точное место на выходной раны. Так. 3+1. У меня 4. У меня осталось 5 выкинуть. Давай. Отлично. Перчатка на технику помогла.
You pick the object between your index and middle finger. Feels sharp, like metal. You press your teeth together. Your jaw is clenched. All you need to do is just...
Шептать держу, медленно вытащить пальцы.
Good, good.
Чудно дивно, где-то на фоне радостно возбужденно гудит морозильник, медленно вытащить
The
пальцы.
inside of the head feels cold and smooth, like a glove. Sweat dripping down your brow. Careful not to lose the prize between your fingers. With a plop, your hand emerges from the mouth. The garden glove is covered in blood right up to the wrist. Between your fingers, a small flower, a blossom made of lead.
A bullet.
Пуля.
The bullet falls in the bag, leaving a smattering of blood on the plastic. He raises the bag under his eyes and says,
A non-caliber. Rifled. Some kind of brittle alloy. Fractured on impact.
Какой-то хрупкий сплав, который разлетается при ударе. Можно мне ее забрать, оставь ее себе, лейтенант, в подарок. Можно мне ее забрать. Все себе забирать? Давай, можно мне.
Of course. You deserve it.
Деформированная пуля, улика. Получен предмет. Она ваша по праву и заслужили. Лейтенант пускает пакет тебе в руку. Он кажется легким.
We need to add an item to the injury list. Injury number 4. Oval entry wound with an abrasion color. Soft palate, back of mouth. High velocity. Temporary cavity in brain tissue. Small exit wound on the occiput. How does that sound?
Ну что, похоже, как звучит. Похоже на рай. Похоже на правду. Ничего не говорит, просто кивнуть.
Opinion, fatal injury.
Предварительное заключение является причиной смерти. Так точно. Разве мы уже так не считали?
That was then. This time we have extensive tissue destruction away from the wound track. This time we have a bullet.
Так точно.
And one last thing. We should amend injury number 3. Ligament mark. New opinion, non-fatal. Post-mortem. Treatment.
Манипуляция. Ага. Надо исправить. Да,
He's
давай.
proposing the bullet was the real cause of death, and the hanging an attempt to conceal this fact.
Повешен, манипуляция, раздробленная пятиязычная кость. Все это было манипуляция. Манипуляция?
Treatment, officer, is an attempt to manipulate the body after death, to hide the real cause with a false cause. In this case, this injury here. Yes, and the belt around his neck, the hanging, even dragging him to the yard. All of it was done after this man was already dead.
Труп-туру-ру-руп. Так думаешь, согласен, не слишком ли поспешно мы делаем выводы? Так, ты
I
так
did not
думаешь?
just come up with this. I've had my doubts since you showed me the tracks, officer. Why did they carry him over? Why not march him? There is no satisfactory explanation.
И на самом деле Кима часто это... Сам манипулирую Кимом. Потому что он умный. И он может вот такие вещи... Хочу в его мыслях покопаться.
There have been other signs too. Small details. Everything is too neatly designed for us to assign probable cause here. As we did, full-heartedly. Well, no more.
Так, выполнено секретное задание. Найдите пулю, пока вас не сбили с толку. А кто меня собирался с толку сбить? Были другие признаки, маленькие детали. Все слишком уж удобно подталкивало нас к очевидной вероятной причине. И мы клюнули на их приманку, но больше этого не повторится.
There is, of course, the very real possibility he was both shot and hanged.
Я вот тоже думаю, может быть, он висел, кто-то подошел и выстрелил, когда парни ушли. Я все-таки думаю, что это братья Титс его повесили. Но уже, может быть, труп тащили, реально. Не, может быть, они его отключили, повесили. Но он, видите, не сопротивлялся, там, ногти не повреждены, не пытался освободиться. Может, они застрелили его, пока вешали?
To put him out of his misery? It's possible, but it does not explain all the other dubious things here. Lack of struggle, primarily. I may be intellectually sloppy, but I prefer one theory at a time. And this just smacks of treatment to me.
Мне бы помыться. Мне бы помыться, это точно.
That's for us to find out. But this, it will make finding them just a little easier. To hide something. The real killer, the real motivation, what really happened here. Oh, you really do. I am glad to hear you say that. Your room in the Whirling in Rags should come with a bathroom. Be sure to make use of it in the evening. Yes, we should take a closer look at it. I am certain it has more to tell us.
This little thing could reveal much about the weapon that shot it.
Оборудования, которые стреляли.
We bag the corpse and carry him to the holding pen of my kinema. I can transport him to processing myself, but I will be gone for the rest of the day.
Могу сам отвезти его в лабораторию. На вскрытии он тогда меня не будет до конца дня. Тебя не будет? А чем мне тогда заниматься?
Work on the case. Tend to personal matters. Try not to do anything too dangerous. An officer needs backup in a neighborhood like this.
Сколько его не будет? Постараюсь. Так, меня не будет до конца дня. Все, он утром приедет. Окей. Заняться личными делами. Постараюсь только не затевать ничего слишком опасного. В районе полицейскому хорошо бы ходить с напарником.
I'll leave that choice to you. And one more thing. Great work, detective. All right.
Ну хорошо, Ким достает блестящий черный мешок для трупа, начинает натягивать пластик на голову мертвеца.
There go those beautiful enamel boots. You will never own the full set now. May they rest in processing.
I will need a little help carrying him. You take the hands, I'll take the legs.
Ну, отлично. Подумывал я о том, чтобы стащить с него ботиночки. Конечно, я об этом подумывал. Но как бы на втором плане.
The door is closed.
Так, а что это такое? Что это такое? Не нажимается. Да глянь. Так, помоемся. Ну, смотри, возможно.
This is not the cleanest bathtub in the world, but it's cleaner than you are right now. Ah, that soap scum smell. It smells like life, at least compared to you. The bathtub slowly fills with water. The water beckons. The water is only lukewarm, but still comforting, like amniotic fluid. Now you are alone with your thoughts in the tub, but it's easier than being alone with your thoughts outside the tub. They're not even really thoughts, just assorted sensations, none of them acute enough to focus on.
Блин, это может быть опасно.
Your fingers grow pale and are covered with tiny whirls as the water cools. What are you doing? You're not some fat fish in a fucking aquarium. Time to get moving. You see the corpse. You can still smell the cadaver on you. It's going to take more than one bath to get rid of that stench. Then, houses along a narrow street. A video rental. Darkness on the planet's curvature. The waterline recedes as you stand. You are cold now. Your clothes stick to your still moist skin.
Первое, что хотел, это закрыть дверь. Так, что тут? Воня здесь просто неописуемая. Эпитетом, который приходит в голову, не завидовал бы. Что-то там.
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. It's
Так, оставим зеркало. А, подожди, галстук.
This fan has two chain pull switches. One ends in a
Так, галстук надо снимать, ну его нафиг.
This fan has two chain pull switches. You swoop up and catch the tie. What you have in your hand.
Отлично, наконец-то. Здорово, дружок. Давненько по тебе скучал. Квадратный фонарь у меня, смотрите.
The door is closed. Still nothing. You should punch a fucking hole in it. You slam your fist into the vinyl. It does not produce. Not to mention.
Я все бью. Просто я человек такой.
Oh, hello, dear. I didn't notice you at first. Oh my. What happened to the water lock? Oh, sweetie. If it weren't for you, I'd be looking forward to another sleepless night. Listen, sweetie, I hate to ask, but if your investigation happens to take you to the other side of the coast, please do keep an eye out. And if you see him, let him know Lena is waiting for him here at the Whirling. He gets so tangled up in his work that he may not know the water lock's been repaired. And it's cold out there. Oh, you're such a dear. Thank you, sweetie.
Can I help you?
Вообще, давайте я этот диалог добью.
Can I
Чтоб
help you?
потом на
Do
него
I have a
смотреть.
shaker in my hand?
It's not a shaker. It's nothing.
Am I wearing a... Am I smiling? That's right.
What you want is a goddamn drink. How is play it calm? This man needs to understand you need a drink to help the community deal with police stuff.
Действуй спокойно, объясни ему, что без выпивки ты не сумеешь помочь местным по полицейским вопросам. Топливо спирт. Сходите, чтобы разобрался с телом и делом, нужно заливать мне в рот алкоголь.
Oh, well, in that case, let me pour you a nice, big, refreshing marinella. Do you want that out of a glass or a pineapple? Don't be an imbecile. I'm not going to serve you a marinella. I have work to do and broken things to fix.
Козел. Ну ты козел, Гард. Иди уже Сильвии позвони.
The man ponders his cooking you.
Не знаю, стоит ли заниматься делами. Тут, блин, опасные ребята. И я хочу, чтобы в диалогах стоял Ким. Вот в чем дело. Давайте побочки поделаем. И стой, тоже я... В этой книге написано, что ты должен добиться сильного пранку негрейского что-то там, тела, что ли. С этой из Wild Pines женщины тоже не хочу сейчас общаться без Кима, собственно. Что такое вообще? Что-то за... А, нет, это ящик. Просто... С этой можно пообщаться.
Yes? Hello? Me? No one. I'm just a working class woman.
She doesn't really want to be disturbed that much. If she's such a working class woman, why isn't she working?
Not all the time. Right now I'm browsing books. Even a working class woman needs something to read. It is. I know you are. What with?
Her hands move over the book covers. The tips of her fingers look rough, stained with yellow. It seems like she has spent a lot of... An array of neurons fire up with joy. Bum her a cigarette, lest it turn to pain.
No, I don't. Why do you think that I smoke?
В таком месте все курят.
It's not like yours looked much better.
She is right. Your hands look even worse than hers, with tiny cuts and gushes covering your skin like a spider web. Your fingertips have become an ugly shade of brown. These are the hands of someone who smoked for at least 20 years, as evidenced by the discoloration of fingers. Marks on your skin may point to past quarrels.
I already told you I don't have any. Go bother someone else.
She's lying. She's goddamn lying. She has smokes.
From the kiosk? There's one near the harbor. It's Frita. You can look it up.
И откуда ты знаешь?
She sighs.
My husband? No, he's not. I don't know. At home now? Out drinking with his friends? Yes, but... I don't really need to know where... No. Why are we still talking about this? I haven't lost my husband.
Я хочу детишка
No,
прокликать.
absolutely not. Are you a policeman or a nanny? They are not missing, sir.
You know where they are. They're at home, smoking, giving the ladder of vices a chance.
What? That's just... My daughters are perfectly fine. They're with their friends down in Jamb. They're almost grown up now anyway. They're past the age they need me protecting them from everything now. I don't mean to disrespect, sir, but you are being a bit of a cockatoo here. I don't even have a cockatoo. And guess what? Even if I had, it wouldn't be missing. Great. Nothing. Go read up on them if you're so interested. There's a great book in the bookstore.
Maybe you should. What if the cockatoo is your astral captain? Or your heraldic bird?
Wonderful. The store is open.
Найди свою геральдическую птицу.
The woman before.
Так, ну этот квест я знаю. Здесь вроде бы. Не, смотри-ка. Ладно, тогда с пацанами поговорим, с мужиками.
These manly men are playing balls. No, you got this. There's the ball. You're the game.
Так же зеленая была?
You are immediately surprised by the ball's lack of weight. No, man. God, this is right. You feel the familiar tremble of...
Merde!
It wasn't me.
What the hell is your problem? I don't care.
A man his age getting worked up like that? Better watch that blood pressure.
You vandalized our game, son. We can't play petanque with 5 bull. Well, it's damn well...
Take it easy.
Of course there's harm done, you orange slug. You are as a goddamn bull. Will this... No, it will goddamn not.
О, не подойдет.
Thank you, officer. This is really something. Honestly, I think it's better than our old bull, even.
Mon Dieu. All right, fine. What do you want, officer? Unfortunately, I don't. Unlike most of the locals, I have no qualms about assisting law enforcement, but this affair has passed me by completely. In Martinez, the union is the law, so can you really blame them? Cop is a pejorative term. I don't have a problem with policemen. On the contrary, I admire the effort to bring order to our streets. If I knew, I would not be afraid to tell you. I simply don't. I'm an old man, not a coward. The daily business of the riffraff no longer concerns me. Yes, the Debardeurs Union pays me to stand vigil during the nights. Not out of any political... I'm an old man. Don't sleep more than a few hours every night anyway, and... money is tight. She... is nobody. This is none of your concern, and I refuse to discuss my private affairs with the...
The lady is Jeanne-Marie Beaulieu, and she sure as hell wasn't a nobody.
Yes, it does. Unfortunately, I wasn't working that night. Been on a 2-week leave since last Monday. It's a private...
You see your...
I'm
Так, я
fine.
прокликаю.
It's his heart.
Это сердце. Все со мной хорошо, черт тебя дери, не лезь не в свое дело. Ничего у меня нет, просто с кофе надо притормозить. Это сердце.
No one. The boost... Yes! It's...
Look, officer. The container yard doesn't actually need a guardsman. Never had one before René. Monsieur Claire,
the possibility...
Evrard created this job for René because he knows the Royal Carabiniers' pension of honor and PTSD isn't something a man can live off. A decorated kingsman collecting tear reflects bad on the whole neighborhood. His words.
It's not charity. Not to me.
Жаль гримасу боли. Кажется, что он хотел что-то добавить, но не может найти слов. Наконец его глаза загораются, и он говорит...
Up there, I give it all I got. I earned my keep. But you're right, officer. There is no middle ground. It's do or die. Yes. Like I said, I would be up anyway, so might as well keep an eye out. It keeps my senses sharp.
Да-да, как я и сказал, повторяет он, я все равно не буду спать, так что посмотрю, что и как. Буду глядеть в оба. Похоже, играете в воронки.
Yes. The terrain here provides an interesting variety to a familiar game. I do. Fire from heavy artillery.
Heavy artillery fire, you say? That's the best kind of artillery fire. Very interesting.
Why what? Because that's what happens when communards hijack your country, execute your supreme leadership, and turn your capital into a slaughterhouse. You use heavy ordnance to clean up your home. Sadly, no. It was the foreigners who brought them to their knees. We fought valiantly. Too valiantly. So valiantly we got licked. Should have fought dirty, like they did with their suicide sex cult propaganda and mad anarchist women strapped to shrapnel bombs. We didn't though, and we lacked caliber. God bless him, but the suzerain's cannons simply weren't big enough.
It was probably a bit more complicated than that.
This place is a damn beachhead, son. They had to soften the commies up first. Yes, the military coordinated amphibious landing to take back Revachol. Martinez was used as one of the 3 footholds in Revachol during Operation Deathblow in 08. The other 2 are off in Stella Maris and the Delta.
Ну, вот эти 2 варианта вообще не понимаю. Ну, у меня памяти нет. У него памяти нет. И у меня информации нет. Это вымышленная революция.
This here is Blood Ground, where coalition boots first made landfall and cleaned those rabid dogs out. Most likely, we're playing pétanque on their mangled corpses.
Blood ground. You got old René going there. Like he isn't hungry enough already.
Don't get me wrong, officer. I hate those foreign dogs, but the enemy of my enemy and all that. They're the lesser evil.
На самом деле я уже все это знал. Ну, может быть, я это где-то и слышал 1 раз, 2 или 3, может быть, раз 20 я слышал, но я не помню это. Поэтому все разбомбили.
Damn right, son. They laid the fire of hell on the city before they stormed it. And it worked, too.
He approves of this radical approach, knows it was necessary.
The rest of the city got cleaned up, but Martinez they keep as a monument. And now the Union Socialists are practically running the place.
Well, it's your own damn fault. You, we, the coalition, Revachol, whoever you want to blame, never finished the job. Officially, the party never surrendered. Of course they still hold influence.
You don't even begin to truly understand the players on the table, let alone the specific circumstances surrounding the... What do you think?
Thinking men have opinions on these things. Present one.
Делится. Ничего не коммуняки.
No, they don't. But I'm sorry it had to be the coalition. After 8 years of fighting rabid commies, boiling cats for food and drinking piss in the mountains, I would have preferred if the Right Honorable King Guillaume returned through Revachol, or even if that damn clan Fouissel had risen from the grave and led us. Sadly, that was not the case. Instead, all that is just, holy, and beautiful in the world was wiped away, and now it's neon signs with toothpaste ads everywhere. Foreign influence peddling garbage and stupid music on the radio. This is just what the commies wanted. This was their plan all along. This is what they wanted to replace the role of the suzerain with. The suzerain is the king! Has everyone forgotten already? They've forgotten already. It's no use talking to you. You were still in Daddy's balls when it happened. When we took our last stand against the Fifth and rode the cavalry straight into gunfire.
Что ты можешь сказать мне об этом ружье?
It's a Bell McGrave. 4.46 caliber. Breech loading. Revachol made. Good weapon, accurate and reliable. This one's inoperable. The bolt spring is missing and the mechanism is jammed shut. Still a beauty. Where did you find her? I'm not surprised. There are probably lots of forgotten wartime weapons lying around here. Back in the day, everyone had something stashed away. As for the rifle, I don't know what else to tell you. These BM-446s are an antique. No one uses them anymore. The ammunition is impossible to find.
8%. Что в этом старом солдате такого, что придает ему столько гордости? Это белая проверка? Это белая проверка.
All you observe is a veteran refusing to let go of the past and his old uniform. This is not uncommon.
This is the uniform of the Royal Carabineers in service of Fissel I, Guillaume le Lion, and the valiant King Philip V before him.
Don't you mean Fristel the Fan?
You do not speak his name, Craven, although he was a clown. But he was our clown, ours to ridicule and to mourn.
There's something you missed. You will get to it. Don't worry.
Да, не волнуйся. Статуя Филиппа Третьего.
Ah, yes! King Philip the
А, ну это
a
сейчас они...
superpower, feared and respected decisively, without fear of offending the sensibilities of the nation.
Don't get...
The Carabineer doesn't reply.
Right.
Ну окей. Что там, самообладание, да? Ну,
I have really... How...
Yes.
René. Hello, officer. How might I be of assistance on this fine day?
ты говорил Жанне Мари Бьюли. Кто это такая? Что ты знаешь о мертвеце?
Oh, sweet Jenny. She was the finest woman in all of Revachol. Maybe the entire world.
Do not defile her memory, Gaston. Let her rest in peace.
Кого вы ее знаете, что с ней случилось?
We knew her, all right. Lived on the same street our entire lives, just 2 houses apart. The 3 of us have been best friends since we were 4. She was René's first girl back when the prick was 16. They were courting till he decided he'd rather die for some great ideal than just be happy.
Какие-то великие идеалы, что просто будет сейчас.
And then you stole her from me.
Не вмешиваться.
Well, technically, you stole her from me, because we'd been pretty close ever since you two had that falling out over the ink you spilled over her pretty yellow dress.
We were just boys then. This was different. You... No point starting this all over again. For the 1000th and the first time. Especially when we have company. Officer.
She died of pneumonia 2 winters ago. It was a quiet passage, peaceful. René and I were both by her bedside when she...
Died. No use sugarcoating it. Won't bring her back, will it now?
departed. Until the very end she couldn't decide between us. The most indecisive woman I've ever met.
Да, самая нерешительная женщина, что я встречал в жизни.
A quick grimace of pain passes over René's features, but he immediately regains control. His face now a dispassionate mask again.
Ну, нерешительная, потому что не могла выбрать, да?
She could never make up her mind about anything. What to have for breakfast, favorite color, or which one of us to marry. She was always leaving one of us for the other, but never long enough to actually get married. Heck, technically, we're both still engaged to her.
You always confused her. Couldn't let us be happy. Seduced her with your fancy words and pastries.
He suddenly remembers you are still there, falls silent, and turns away.
Of course, officer. Memories are all we have left. Let me think. I heard someone was hanged and left on a tree for a week, but that's all I know, really. No, I'm sorry. And I really would like to assist. You are a good guy, officer. I can see that.
Then help him, you wimp. You have plenty of shoulder with the ghost caviar in the Union. Someone must know something.
I wish I could, but I just don't know anything. I always keep my nose clean and don't gossip. Everyone knows and respects that.
Respects?
I'm not even anyone.
Of course he's holding back. His mouth is so full of Union prick he can't even speak properly.
Елдаков профсоюзных в рот набрал.
Can I at least finish my fucking sentence before you piss on it? Is that okay, René? I'm not anyone important in the Union. I just know Evrard. Everyone in Martinez knows the Clare brothers. I taught these boys human studies and history in the gymnasium.
What do you know about history? You never witnessed history. Only heard about it years later, when it had already moved on. You don't know history.
The old soldier mumbles something under his breath and turns to face the sea.
Сросло бормочет что-то себе под нос и отворачивается к морю.
There he stands, proud, rigid and alone, like a cracking marble statue.
What a prick. The officer was addressing me, not you, Captain. Where were we? Oh, in many ways, yes. Like an honorary member. I attend meetings and parties, help with little things. Evrard, Edgar, and the older debarders all know me. Oh, yes. Not in the technical sense. I don't have a vote or a membership card, but Evrard keeps me on the payroll.
Of course he's not a member. He's not a member of anything. I knew that. He's a Weservein. Turns to where the wind blows and tries to look important. I hate the socialist rabble, but even siding with them is better than living your entire life on the fence. Never committing to anything. Pick a damn side already.
Writing work mostly. Occasionally, he needs something written, and I happen to have a way with words, people say. Oh, nothing official, I assure you. Just essays for the newspapers. About Martinez and how things are and how they could be. Evrard and I had these long talks where...
Well, he tells his little pen man exactly what to say. It's commie propaganda, plain and simple. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Я сам делаю всякие мелочи. Но одну мелочь я для него сделал. Я, кстати, думаю, может быть, и вторую сделать. Все-таки получить это какую-то информацию по пистолету. Мне от этого тошно. Мне от этого
That's just the
тошно.
way things work around here. No reason to feel bad about it. Thank you, officer, for being a consummate professional. You'll have this case wrapped up in no time. I'm sorry, officer, but I really don't share food. Nothing personal, it's just a principle.
The only one you have.
Suddenly you realize how hungry you are. The last time you ate must have been, God knows when, aeons ago. Probably when you were still a child. The sandwich looks like a culinary wonder. Well made and abundant in components. The author sure knew their craft. In addition to the obvious slice of ham, a fat one, you notice a brim of a tomato peeking from below. And is that mayonnaise?
Believe me, officer, I wish I could help you, but I need this sandwich to keep my blood sugar stable. In my age, you need to pay attention to these things.
You can barely hear him. The sweet smell of pickles in harmony with garlic butter and marinated onions emanating from the sandwich is driving your mind in a singular direction. It must be yours.
Fuck off! It's mine! Sorry, officer. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it in a bad way. But the sandwich is mine. I'm not gonna share it.
When the dissidents come to rape our country, he hides.
Блин,
But try to
закинул
get a
бунт.
bite of his dear sandwich and he gets claws? You're a special kind of vermin, Gaston.
Блин.
All right, this is how we're gonna do it.
Like what, officer? This is as good as they come in Revachol, I assure you.
An array of delicious recipes flashes through your mind. Salads, salmon, sandwiches, bingo.
Mon Dieu, that is an excellent idea. That would virtually negate the component loss.
Beautiful. Now bring it home with paprika.
Ce serait délicieux. Can you make that sandwich, officer? I hope you are not just tricking an old man out of the little he has left.
6-9 месяцев. Ты уже отведаешь сэндвич богов. Я выиграл? Насчет этого не волнуйся. Ну, давай.
Or god of sandwiches, maybe? But in the meanwhile, what can I do for you here and now, officer?
Ну, ништяк, повезло. Геральдическую птицу, блин, свою надо найти. Так, что там у меня теперь? Сэндвич этот есть где-то. С ним можно взаимодействовать. Деформированная пуля. Вот она раскрылась. Написано в руке записка из холодильника. О! С ним можно взаимодействовать. Ну, прямо сейчас не хочу, но в принципе это можно. Так, что у нас тут на карте? А, подожди, повешенный еще стоит. Рене Арну, визуальное самообладание. Это все закрыто получается, да? Окно кафетерия, восприятие. Рискованно, карта на стене. Карта на стене, техника. А, ну, подожди, так я ее уже не украду. Рене, ты закрыт, да, у меня?
Vigilance officer?
Да,
What can this old
недоступно.
carabiner?
Подожди, что там у него? Стой.
Vigilance officer? What can this old carabiner do for you? Yes, I was standing right here. I saw it. Why are you telling me this? No! I don't understand what you're trying to accomplish with this sandwich bonanza. But I already don't like it. All of this is very unprofessional. Makes me think the citizens' militia is nothing but a badly organized band of bullies and jesters. Again, I don't like this.
No, officer. René doesn't know what he's saying.
He's afraid what might happen if his opinionated partner is allowed to speak his mind freely.
You are representing an organization, an insignia, an idea. You need to understand that everything you do reflects on the idea and the people you are representing. When we think of the RCM, we think of you. Please make it a pleasant thought. Fine. You live, learn, and move on. The matter is closed. Now what can this old carabiner do? There's nothing for you to understand here. It is not her death you are investigating. Absolutely not. She died of pneumonia in her bed at the age of 79. This is highly usual. Reversal Fair of 91 in the Faubourg district. A parade was held to honor Guillaume Le Lion's name day, and the Carabineers marched in the place of honor. This was the happiest day of my life.
А фотка у меня теперь.
I was 22 when I returned from King Guillaume's Akira operation in the south, and found my sweetheart in the arms of this wretch.
The Ikeda operation was a 7-year campaign, during which suzerain Guillaume's army forcefully united the people in the southeastern part of La Petite Continent, collectively known as the Ikeda tribes. And
I won her back, but while I was dealing with some issues,
You were like a dark cloud sucking the joy out of every living thing around you. And you hurt her. Those days and memories are gone.
the old soldier says nothing, but when his glance quickly runs over Gaston's face, there's an odd look in his eyes.
Так, ну что, опыт поднабрались, неплохо. Огромные бури, шары доступны на настоящего мужика. Достойно. Блин, как мне к этой мысли прийти, что он ее муж?
My husband?
The woman
Ладно, может, как-нибудь другой раз придем к этой мысли.
Hello, sir. How is the investigation going? Found any curses yet? Oh, that's great! I hope exciting adventures lie ahead. And maybe you can help Mother become less afraid. Oh, that's Auntie Billy. She's nice if a bit distressed.
А, вот с ней, наверное, поговорить
no,
надо.
sir. I think she is a bad husband. Not very nice or helpful.
Заблокировано, да, пока? Только выкинуть надо, тоже не говорят. Самообладание, кстати, самообладание это мне и надо. Ну шо? Нет, мысли такой не возникает. И давай еще раз с ней поговорим. пока никак. Ну, пошли. Есть еще куда забежать, еще много куда есть забежать. Да, давай здесь походим. Жилой комплекс. Северный объезд. Внутри виден каркас с ремонтированным мотоциклом. Так, инструменты. Внушение сумерек.
Yeah, you better keep walking.
Десяток лет назад здесь были и другие постройки. Только для жителей дома 33А.
Hey, up here, Piggo.
Она приняла краску. Ну, давай
A
пообщаемся.
sturdy metal door guards the southwest entrance to the apartment building. It's locked. This could be a way into the apartment building the smoking man vanished into. The door rattles against your knuckles. The door rattles again. But this time, you hear an elderly woman's voice calling out from in.
Stop banging on the door. I'm not letting any more strangers inside. Ha! The police? Everyone knows the police don't come round here. No, I already told you. I won't be responsible for any more strangers getting... Go check the backyard door. Maybe someone there will.
Backyard door. With the smoker. You already were there. Didn't work.
Good. We had enough problems with bums and drunks and thieves loitering in the hallway. You have no business here.
Yeah, you better keep walking.
A sturdy metal door. This could be a way into the apartment building the smoking man. You're well versed in the kind of threatening legalese that implies criminal liability, but in fact has no meaning whatsoever. Obviously, look at that vague yet threatening stuff spewing forth from your mouth.
I know my rights, and don't you mom me, boy.
But the sweeping on the other side has stopped. Insufficiently differential.
У меня нет.
Hold your horses. I don't care about your stinking badge. Just come in.
Я проник. Отряд для расстрела
Give me
богачей.
a moment. The cold never does any good for my bronchitis.
This woman's health is failing her. There's not much to do. Not in this damp.
Тот самый полицейский же просил вас открыть. Точно не хотите? Ну, удостоверение. Давай
I
нажмем.
already told you I don't care about any badges.
I'm fine. Fine. Don't you worry about me. Now, what do you want from me?
She's the cleaning lady. She knows the floor plan and the residence.
Я прям в нее свечу. Вот такая еще молодого человека лет 25, темный волос.
Yes, yes. I know who you mean. The screw.
Somewhere in the building, a child starts crying. You hear a radio tuned to a talk show and someone...
What's he in trouble for?
Ну, ему грозит пожизненное.
Murder? I wager you've got the wrong man. But even so, you're out of luck, policeman. I saw him leave the building just before you came in. He lives upstairs in room 28. Go to the balcony. It's one of those doors there. I'm no one, just an old woman who cleans these hallways. If you can call it living. It's barely bigger than a closet. But I don't...
And all she gets, too. The coastal wind beats down hard on the cold room door outside. Splashes of waves make the balcony slippery.
Так, это балкон. К черепу выйти. Ну вот, Синди.
Ruination has come. The broken arches betray the once grand history of this building. It towered over the harbor until it happened. A great force from the northeast fired into the city. Heavy artillery shelled the coastline. Fired from the water, a straight shot into Revachol. The tenement acted as a defensive wall against the worst of the shelling until it was destroyed, and they had a direct firing line. The waves of the Martinez Inlet rolled over the fallen remains of the building. The dark waters obscured the better part of the remains. This is where the damage came from somewhere in the inlet. What didn't fall into the ocean was used as scrap. What wasn't used as scrap was thrown into the ocean.
Когда мы на ту сторону переберемся, мы эти пушки будем видеть.
Those arches acted as support for something greater than what you see now. Only 3 stories stand where 9 to 12 once did. Restoration has failed. What the shelling took out was never rebuilt. Underwater, iron helmets have sunk deep into the sand and the mud. Helmets of soldiers, and their finger bones too, and clavicles, littering the ocean floor. A fleet, the combined armies of Occident and Grad, with Mesk volunteers, a 5-nation army, hundreds of vessels. They massed airships further down in the Bay of Revachol. The artillery was so powerful. The ships not only required gyroscopic stabilization, they were anchored into the ocean floor as well. Many are still there to this day. If you squint, you can just barely see the shadow on the water, far in the northeast. Cannon still ready to placate Revachol.
Может и пальнем как-нибудь. Вообще, я хочу еще зайти к Эврару, пока я без скима. С ней пока не интересно разговаривать. За мой заржавел войти не получится. Пол новый, там кто-то живет. Угу, интересно. Но здесь-то живет Синди. Плюс реакция минус электрохимия плюс. Нафиг мне это не надо. $5.20, ништяк. Зиму пахнет химией, этого угля хватит не на одну зиму. Огонь внезапно. Тебе кажется, что щиток горит. Почему? Подожди, стоп. Что такое? Сотни крошечных лапок снуют там, под решеткой. Городские крысы. А, вот здесь. Ага, нифига себе. Пиролидон. 3 применения. Нифига себе. У меня теперь 7 применений. Не туда спал недавно. Девчонка снаружи. Вполне возможно. Блин, ну давай поговорим.
The streets will flow red once more, a great torrent rushing down Rue de Esperance. I'm Cindy the fucking Skull. What else do you want to know? Date of birth, blood type, the last time I was tested for Hep C. Had a battery of tests just last week. I'm practically a patchwork of interesting critters. Kinda like a manowar.
That smell coming from her paint bucket. It's not paint. It's heavy fuel oil.
What did you think I was using? Aquarels? This shit is pumped out of government vehicles. Something to think about next time you're driving around in your pretty little piggy carriage.
The lieutenant furrows his brow at another one of your eccentricisms. Hatred, disgust, it's difficult to tell which of the two is more present in her girlish features. The woman on the boat does not notice her staring.
That Ozon whore. Someone's got to keep an eye on her.
Ozon is an archipelago 2 days' travel away from Rivershot. Its moneyed residents, used to posh restaurants and upscale boutiques, rarely have reason to visit Martinez.
Isn't it part of your job to know all the illustrious personages round this shithole? She's the Wild Pines representative. Madam professional negotiator in the flesh and the flimsy linen. Something morbid about old ladies trying to look young.
That's rich coming from a young girl dressed up like a granny.
Oh, but that's the way it should be. The natural order of things. Can't you tell? I'm painting a beautiful mural, an aereo graffitio visible. I haven't really started it yet. I'm waiting for the right words. Have you ever tried your hand at graffitio? When faced with a blank wall, most people write unimaginative stuff, like pigs go home and Mono is here. We rarely see pigs round here though. Just union cards. And my name's not Mona, so... yeah? Thanks. I'm sure the inspiration will come to me now that I have an official RCM. I ain't no snitch, pigstein. Go forth and forage in someone else's shit. No shortage of squealers in... Ooh. Not only have you found my address, you've discovered my biggest secret. I'm a coal miner.
She does have eyes that seem to be smeared with coal.
Yes, I keep hoping a shaft will collapse on me, but somehow does anyone in a city like this. It doesn't have to do anything at all. Nothing does. Shoot, Piggy. It's what you do, isn't it? They just might be. Rough stuff. If you take the ride, you'd be wise to book...
Her neurons must be on fire. the heat creating waves and ripples in all she sees, above all, in her painting.
You really think I need to be high to see the world as art? Poor unimaginative piggy. How I wouldn't want to have your peepers.
To hell with the art part, man. It's all about the high anyway.
What do I care about some fucking tin eggshells? Ugh, alright, sad piggy. I'll give you this one. I saw a little girl in the fishing village running around with military-grade handwear. Look cute as hell. If you haven't been there, the village is a shithole down the coast from the main plaza. Have a good time!
Я видел, как девочка бегала по рыбацкой деревушке с какими-то перчатками армейского класса. Если ты там еще не был, деревня — это жопа мира. Туда можно попасть, если идти от площади в сторону побережья. Хорошего путешествия.
No. That's all the snitching Cindy the Skull does for today. Actually, I don't even know why I told you what I just told you. I have a weakness for animals. It's the animal thing again. Damn it. Watch your back, Ungulate.
Окей, она хоть что-то нам дала, какую-то инфу полезную. Я в любом случае к Эврару хочу забежать. Объявление печатано по решению ассоциации риэлторов. Чтобы посмотреть, как на меня будет реагировать Эврар без Кима.
A shift in temperature, the air chills around you. Dust settles on the stony floor. A former architect stands before a slice of window, a room plan in her hand. A cold wave has made the air in the building stand still and frozen, is red from the cold. She's breathing on her fingers, clasping the plan. Traces of sadness are visible in her expression. Faint pencil lines on paper depict the same place, but a missing eastern wall connects the room with the neighboring apartment. Ideas for arranging the furniture have been jotted down. It's clean and empty, with new tapestry embellishing the walls. A standard HB graphite pencil has fallen off a three-legged stool in the middle of the room. She had an eye for beauty. What happened here? It will still be accessible through the apartment next to it. That one didn't have a door. Sadly, nothing of great value remains here. Indeed.
Give me a moment.
Тут ничего нет, смотри-ка. Взял. В смысле взял? Буги стрит 46. Как-то я беру, если там пусто. О. Башмаки, это я этим, что ли, вижу? Нет, так я тоже вижу.
You hear someone walking around inside. The walking stop a poor community.
Do I have to? Do you have a warrant?
It's general.
Ну, смотрите, пусто. Берешь все, 30 реалов.
This door has been closed, no reply. It's a solid lump of metal, but better whip out those cutters. You won't get very far otherwise.
Так, подожди. Это что мне дает? Эмпатия внутренней империи минус авторитет.
This door has been closed with a padlock. What are you doing? You're trying to cut the body of the lock with the chain cutters, and it's really not working. That isn't just a five-pointed star. Even today, to symbol also the wreath of antlers, because white is gone. Gone is the glory of hope.
Офигеть, блин. Просто хапнул пару этих. Душевных травм всяких. Очки какие-то. Почему мне их, блин, не показывают? Вот они. Логика плюс, авторитет минус. А у меня что? Драма, визуальный анализ у меня повышенный. Опять все белое. Окей. Блин. А, у меня может подлагивает просто? Подожди. Так, перезагрузился. А чё, где? Фонарь-то. Всё на месте. А, да, вот. Физиология, боевой дух, алкогольный напиток, красный командор. Да, видать, что-то лагануло. Может, память это перебита, переполнена. Перебита. Окей. Так, и что, я могу здесь выйти? И теперь могу ходить тут? Ништяк. Так, вроде как завтра занавески сдвинулись совсем чуть-чуть. Изнутри кто-то наблюдает. Как я собираю мелочуку. Полно проводов и окурков. Когда-то нам надо будет сюда попасть с этим, с Кимом. То ли сегодня в 9, то ли завтра. Наверное, все-таки сегодня в 9. Просто дверь в данный момент не представляет для себя интереса. Что такое? Выключает фонарь. Периодически. Розмарин.
This door is made of metal and appears to be number 28. This is where the cleaning lady said the smoker on the... No one answers. Looks like he isn't home. You should come back later, after 2100.
Возвращайся после 9, окей. Двери 29. Следовательно, тишина, никого нет дома. 9:30. Доносятся голоса, кто-то подпевает под бодрую танцевальную музыку. В стиле диско. Ну, там мы уже были. Окей. Че, не бежишь? Гарри, давай пробежимся немного. Так, который час? 17, да, у меня дофига времени. Так, а тут что?
This door has been closed with a padlock.
Техника. Техника здесь. А здесь что? Угу. Монетки.
Give me a moment. Ask away, policeman. The hell am I
She really doesn't like those nut jobs. Bad blood there.
Some lunatic lost his mind. All kinds of morons pass through these halls. People come and go.
They probably just moved or died. Hopefully somewhere else.
No one lives there. It's been impossible. Maybe it's those countercults. Great. Young people. They're worse than rats. Oh, that one is a scientist. A future scholar. I think he studies astrology. Something to do with all those stars around his door. He asked me to leave. The symbol of what and how? Never heard of it. The artiste? She leaves an old lady to her business.
She mumbles some kind of a response. You hear someone walking around inside, rearrange.
Excuse me? Of course not.
Scare them. Suspected of some big crime. You have plenty of reason to enter.
Oh, come on.
Satisfied? My name is Marielle Charpentier, and I'm an agent with Martinez Realty Associates. I am not breaking in, as I have every right. Do you want to see my ID as well? You can't legally ask for it, but why not? Want to see my residence permit?
It feels flimsy in hand, with the words Revachol Zone of Control written under a nondescript municipal logo. There's a picture of her with shorter hair inside, along with all her personal details.
Thank you. Do you have any questions? I need to be back in Midtown in an hour. I need to get it ready for the next lease, but as you can see, the previous tenant completely trashed the place. It was some kind of a moribund old man who used to be a business owner. You'd think they'd make rent. But that was months ago. Anyway, was there anything you wanted, or is that it? I'm in a... Oh, that's another huge mess. The former tenant owes us 3 months of rent. 3. We closed the apartment and planned on auctioning off the valuables, but... And again, I have no idea how stupid mistakes like this can even happen. But Ron, when he came to close the door, didn't close the neighboring door. And there's a hole in the wall.
So preppy. She's probably on some low-grade performance enhancers, like Peptide or Pericanine.
A hole in the wall. Can you believe it?
The sum must have been puny.
Well, it does not disappear from my hands. No, these apartments are perfectly fine. They have gorgeous architecture, a million real. I'll tell you, Martinez has a future. In a few years, don't ask me what happened with the wall. I have no idea. Both apartments are now unrentable. Both. Of course.
Так. Гипногамма. Плюс 3 боевого духа. Можно взять, можно Все-таки хочу подождать, пока она
What
уйдет.
now? Of course.
Она, я так понимаю, уйдет прямо сейчас. Может быть, она уже ушла? Нет, не ушла. Ну-ка, поговорим о ней.
Give me a moment. I see. I hope some good people are finally going to move in. This place needs them. I know those types, yes. There have been some here, but they never make their rent, so they have to move out. I know that.
It's clear you like the hard stuff, Brota. Evening falls. The time has come to take the vow. The vows are blood and flesh. Lower intestine. The term is metabolic and circulatory system. Fascism, Brota. You're going to keep your views, right? Keep your for the nation. Smart. Best not to mention the woman issue too often. People are not. Of course you are, Bruta.
Так, новые мысли появляются у нас. Белый траур, минус авторитет. После налогообложения 2 эмпатии. Блин, не хочу эмпатию. Терять хладнокровный. Маленький человек становится все дальше. Минус самообладание. Где там этот мейнбрутер? Что-то я понять не могу. Это национальная гордость за Ревашоль. Изнуренный националист. Блин, у меня там все подряд. Социал-экономический социал-эконом. А тут у нас национал-гордость. Националист, социал-экономический националист. Ё-моё. Давай, поехали. Ну, что такое? Современная расовая теория. Нафиг мне нужна? Бонус за исследование. Способы косвенно. Блин, это вообще звучит неплохо. Налогообложение. Может быть, тоже его воткнуть? Если умудрился подхватить какую-то дурную идеологию, придержи коней. Борьба с непрямыми налогами в паутинном государстве подходит для любого креда. Да, это настолько круто. Ты теперь крутой анархист. Если, конечно, ты хочешь быть крутым анархистом. Впрочем, не важно. К твоим услугам новый источник дохода. Давай попробуем вернуть себе немного любви, которую украли засевшие на таможне грабители и бандиты. Надзор и конкуренции. Блин, тоже хочу. Блин, на эмпатии минус 2. Ё-моё, берем. Тоже блокируем. Все по минусам. Гордость давай. Самообладание. Развалили город. Ревашоль лежит в руинах. Пофигу. Так, а что там кинули? Вообще все минусы. Все минусы. Хочется прям в эмпатию закинуть. Где она? 1. Эмпатия 1. Жесть. Сила воля. Ну, более-менее. Урон минус 1. Что за урон минус 1? Плюс 1 к способам налогообложения, самообладания, ликвидистика. Ну давай. Пока так. Видать, что-то мне там откроется скоро. Бежим к этому. Так, тут заблокировано, наверное.
Just an ordinary war. Nothing to see here.
Творческие порывы Синди появились. Нет, не то, вот это. У меня повешена, какая-то она белая. Я так понимаю, я уже не могу ее пройти вообще, потому что труп уехал. Клиент уехал. Гипс снимают. Окно кафетерия. Восприятие техника. Карта на стене. Карта на стене вроде тоже уже нельзя. Потому что я купил карту. Карта на стене. Это же эта карта на стене. Что такое?
A sulfur-crested cockatoo sits on the cover, its beak slightly open. It looks as if the bird is calling out the book title, From A to Zurich, a guide to a well-behaved cockatoo. Turns out that there are so many different cockatoo species, and they all have behavioral problems.
It's a must-have if you own a cockatoo. I've heard they're quite capricious.
You wait for the storekeeper to be distracted. When she's not looking, you haul the tome of cockatoo. It's quite a challenge, but eventually, the guide to the cockatoos is yours. Splendid effort.
Окей. Это вот эта карта.
Several maps. The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of insulin. This large map is ozone in the north, radiating outwards from you. The Suzerain you can. 800 of the ocean connections you have lit. Perhaps they are gods.
I'm sorry, they're quite valuable. Yes. Are you?
Ну тут вроде все уже нельзя, я ее купил. Какаду еще свистнуть получилось с первого раза, ништяк. Да, я буду как можно меньше это перезагружаться. Такс, ну что, бежим. Бежим к Эврару. Думаю, самое время.
Hola, Wandering Man.
Сейчас огромный заяц. Подушки и кофейные следы от кружки на подлокотнике. Это из-за фонаря? Что там фонарь мне тут дает? Тут, наверное, можно посмотреть, что он мне дает. Поместить предмет в активный инвентарь, чтобы находить скрытые сферы в темных местах. Ну, темных мест мало, конечно. Ну да ладно. Пускай будут. Пускай будет. А, вот, кстати, темное место.
You're back before the cargo container. Its drawer has the container door appears unmoved by your attempt at flattery. The door does not respond to your advances. Is it possible that it seems somehow more closed than before?
Прожил в этом мире 2 дня, плюс 1.
You're back before the cargo container. Its drawer has not...
Наверное, если бы другой вариант выбрал, может быть, она бы даже разблокировалась, еще бы плюсанули. Так, ну я один с тобой здесь разговариваю. Не умру ли я здесь, разговаривая с тобой?
Mr. Dubois, every worker, member of the board. How can you bring joy to my heart, Harry? Such a pleasure to be working with you. Here. You need to get signatures from Isabel Sadie and Lillian Carter. The cul-de-sac is right past the pawn shop and across the canal. I hear there is some trouble with the waterlock, but they should fix it by Wednesday morning. Once you have the signatures, mail this to 13022 La Rocca in La Delta. Then we can talk about your gun.
Ладно, никак он не реагирует. Да, я хочу узнать про свой пистолет. Мне даже прям легче стало на душе. Хоть я и под него теперь это ухожу, да? Теперь я должник Эврара.
This is the night what?
Looking for something odd?
Still here, stuck in this damn jam, my man. What's up?
Эмпатия. Эмпатию тоже можно качнуть, в принципе. Эмпатия просто один. Эмпатия надо, чтобы работала периодически. Блин, никак-то, да, с этим бомжом? Наверное, тоже какая-то эмпатия должна прокнуть или что-то типа того. Давайте вот сюда заглянем.
This coin-operated why place a tourist attraction in the middle of such poverty? Your money disappears into the coin slot. The curtains on the display open. You lean in to catch the view. It's blurry, different blues and greens. In the middle of the shimmer stands a drab grey shape, like a ghost. The lenses shift. The ghost sharpens into an islet in the bay. In the ruins, a man-made structure is visible, a half-sunken sea fort, its concrete almost reconquered by nature. It looks as if it was abandoned quite some time ago. Nothing but a rotten tooth remains of the anti-aircraft tower. A lonely birch tree grows out of it.
И все. 25 сантимов поменял на этот. На 5 опыта.
This coin-operated viewer is facing south.
Еще раз можно.
This coin-operated viewer is facing south. The metal feels cold and wet under your palm. The mute machine is unable. A thick layer of graffiti. That's Kuno on the lens. Under the graffiti, you know this to be the star of Pericarnassus, or the Cairo. Around the large wooden...
Так, здесь меня не подхиляли. Кстати, мужичок ушел. Это не тот мужичок. Бля, я теперь от него не отстану.
My husband? No, he's not. Excuse me? Do policemen just go around repeating what some kid off the street said? Is she now? Annette's a sweet sprout, but she doesn't... No, I don't. I have a good husband. The kind and helpful sort. And he's not missing. You're welcome.
The woman before you nods and returns to...
Бля, че это в этот раз он нормальный. В этот раз он был алкоголиком. Так, что бы мне еще поделать, пока нет моего напарничка? Картный снег, но кафетерия. Речица костей и трепет легендарно. Дверь на висячем замке. О. Что это тут у меня откуда-то есть? Штанга, грубая сила, куна. Эмпатия легендарна, но это я вообще не прокнул. У меня единица. Коробка с солнцезащитными очками. Силень. Эмпатия. Риторики, кстати, много. Столько грузового контейнера. Техника, концептуализация. Стена, энциклопедия, зеркало. Самообладание, визуальный анализ. Следы. Следы. А что там с этими следами не так? Там тоже ничего не надо. Там все зашибись. Мы все прошли.
Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling height window.
Еще не
The
время.
hawthorn branches scrape the glass like bony fingers.
Минус 12, нифига себе. Сколько надо выкинуть? Не пи... А, 15 надо. Так, ну... Ночью все будет ништяк. Давайте пообщаемся.
Let me handle this.
Так, я разберусь, говорит девушка. Людям в столовую, потом оборачиваться к
You are
тебе.
far from home, officer. This isn't a district known for its love of self-proclaimed militiamen.
Знал, что ты не садовница, я не могу этого не сказать.
That's right. I'm not a gardener. I'm a legal counselor for the Dock Workers Union.
Not a muscle moves in her face, but her eyes trace yours, stern and perceptive.
You are looking for Titus Hardy, who you think has information on a murder the RCM is investigating. You want to interview him. That's Titus. Talk to him, but know this. I'll be keeping an eye on you. No strong arming, nothing official. The District of Martinez does not recognize your authority.
Could this be the Miss Beaufort that Easy Leo mentioned? The one Mr. Everard sent to law school?
I suggest not wasting time on trivial pleasantries and focusing on why you are actually here. Titus Hardy. You are not here to chat up the legal counsel. You are here to question these men. What you want is of no significance, officer. Don't test your authority. In Martinez, you are no one. What are we going to do to you? The union isn't going to do anything to you. It is not a crime syndicate. It is a labor organization.
Goddamn right it is.
If anything, it is the RCM who do things to people. But we digress. I am being aggressive? Listen, you moral and unlucky. You are part of a mob, enforcing the unlawful privatization of Revachol. 20 fat men in the Occident are stealing it all, and you are their bodyguard.
Fuck yeah.
So ask what you came to ask, or get back to your commanders. Look, a comedian. Do your job, ask your questions, then get out of Martinez.
Strange. It's as if people don't believe a cop could be a socialist revolutionary.
Like I already told you, I'm a legal counselor. Do you have hearing problems?
Так, давайте с этим, как его зовут-то, Гард.
Can I help you?
Нужно выпить.
Another thing. Great. I love... Yes, and the phone company is taking its sweet time sending someone to fix it. Losers. Who told you that? Fine, yeah. It looked like someone had messed with the wiring. It was shortly after the hanging, but I don't know if it's at all related. Plenty of assholes around here who aren't murderers. If you do find out who cut the line, though, let me know, so I can forward them the repair bill. Oh yes, that door, sure. There's nothing mysterious about it. No, I don't have a key. Or some boring storage space.
He's attempting to maintain an air of indifference. It's absolutely not convincing.
Fine, okay. So, I haven't opened it. I have cleaned the whole place 100 times over, though. After the animals. And I haven't found a key, so good luck with that. Yes?
Так, у меня самообладание, да, очень хорошее. 2. 2. Сила воли, логика. Может, логику бахнуть, чтобы было побольше логики? Давайте просто логику бахну и все. Чтобы было больше логики. Ничего там не разблокировал случайно? Концептуализация коробка с солнцезащитными очками. Опасно. А, ничего, это просто я выбираю. Понятно, блин. Карта на стене, техника. Почему вот это не ушло? Повешенный. И карта на стене. Почему они так это раскинуты в разные концы? Ну что, поговорить с ними сейчас? 1 на 1. Давайте в следующей серии поговорим с Титом. 1 на 1 без Кима. Спасибо, что посмотрели. Прожмите лайки. Всем хорошего настроения. Скоро увидимся. Пока.